years in November. 3 years.
I got you.
The listening tree, my bookstore. Yeah. So it'll be 3 years official.
Good for you.
It's November.
That's in Decatur, right?
In Decatur.
Yeah, I'm from Decatur.
Okay. Yeah. On the corner of Candler and Tony.
Okay.
Yeah.
My pop's office was on Keller Road, man.
Yeah. So trying to keep up.
Good for you, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Definitely got
You have a seat over there, baby.
Okay. So yeah, y'all about to roll
Contact
into
more on time than I was.
That's what I
I know, that's what I was like, I walked in there, I was like,
I email marketing. And,
Nah, I went to the Starbucks straight though. That's what I was.
We on, y'all.
Let's go.
Is Jay coming?
No, he's on there.
Oh, yeah.
That's all you do. Sing.
Much.
Got the joystick in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com is the website. Got an amazing show for you today. Got some super duper cool brothers hanging out with us today.
Yes,
It's
sir.
the brother takeover. Y'all, we're going to be talking about understanding the man, the book, the conference, all that good stuff. What up, Chip? Hey, today is the 1st of June. You know what that means?
Hey,
it's
alright.
the first of the month. Now, some of us got that direct deposit from that military disability shout. Shout out to all of my disabled veterans out there that still get that check 28 years later.
Shout out to
time.
the millionaires.
It might have came out yesterday. You never know. Hey, we got a whole bunch of people coming to hang out with us today. Elam B. King, Understanding the Man, the author. It will be in the building today. Told him to stay focused in that joy. See what
I
happened?
didn't have nothing to do
It's
with
the
that.
joy effect. They can't stay focused whenever you in
Shout
here.
out.
We're going to talk about the conference that's coming up on Sunday that you can be a part of. Elam B. King is going to be hanging out with us. Also, Jimmy Jones in the building.
Jimmy
Omar
Jones?
Finley is in the building.
What's
Kevin
going on?
Savage
What's going on, you
is
guys?
in the
What's
back.
up, what's up?
No, Kevin. We weren't ready for you, sir.
When I got here, I was on time.
I'll point to you, Kevin. Yeah,
already.
just like that. You see how Jimmy did? Jimmy was just like,
That was really on the side.
no, he must be an actor. Somebody saying that, I'm here. Yes.
Present.
You ain't ready for the truth. Or however that line go. Hey, and also we're going to talk to my man Jay. I got a whole bunch of stories to talk about today. The day is not, the day.
Yeah,
let me
about
see.
that.
About this man. What is all that noise?
Look, player, I'm ready. I don't even know what you're talking about.
The man who got the child support jump Joan. Snoop Dogg is in the news. Snoop Dogg made the Guinness Book of World Records, and I'll tell you why, but you would not be surprised. Why. Also, an accidental number played in the lottery. I'll tell you what happened with that man. And also, the CEO for the Grammys is stepping down, and I'm going to tell you why. It might have been a little bit too petty. So, yeah, we'll talk about that today. Also, we're going to play some On This Day, When George's Lunch, this or that, all that good stuff today, which is the 1st of June, 2018.
Hey, alright.
So, you know what? Go to MichaelandJoy.com to check out the show with Power 108.9. We'll be back. Is that Mr. Derek Bozeman tuning in? Oh, my goodness, I'm honored.
Turn up.
Derek, what up, DB? It's Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com. Wake up, let go.
Hey, Kai. Good morning. What up, Laura? How are you?
For some reason, I can't get reception.
Hey,
Oh,
Chelsea.
go to the
There you go,
Wi-Fi
brother.
for spaces.
There you go, right there.
I like it. I work with it.
Yeah, no, it's not you.
And now Kevin all.
Can I squeeze a chair over here or?
Yeah.
I'm about to say, squeeze this thing. Nah, you good.
That felt weird.
I'm actually alright, man. Alright, I appreciate it, man.
It's making that same. I
I'll
think it
bring that one over here for you.
It wasn't.
No, I'm talking about when we came in this morning.
I don't have anything making any sounds. I was like, I was like, you know, his phone was.
What the hell you
He
just call that?
came in like right with me. You got any alarms on or anything, Kevin?
Everything's off.
Jimmy, I'm a magician. Jimmy, you stay. You know how to throw the sword, the dart.
I trust you. I trust my brother in Wakanda.
That's Wakanda. Forever.
Oh, dang, you really threw it. Dang.
What up,
Oh,
Byron?
they got it.
Like 4-5
I was
of them.
scared. I was really scared.
He was like, you throwing stuff for real?
Right.
Oh, okay. We got
See
some.
that's see that's Omar over
okay.
here sounding like
That's
a
Omar.
soundtrack.
Uh-huh.
I had the nerve to be like, "That's you, Joy."
Look.
It came
Nah, I
with
just
you.
heard
Came.
coming from back that way.
I'm making it sound like you.
Right behind me too. That's exactly what's going on.
This is dope that you guys are in here. I live right around the corner on Windy Hill.
Oh, Bill.
Now what is this? How do we get to your
I think you got
I
to
don't
put
see where it's populating. Oh, yeah, I do. Yes, I do. Just kidding.
BM, there it goes. Elam, Michael, Jimmy Jones, Kevin Savage, Omar Finley. And then there's me.
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com is the website. Today's show is being brought to you by Elam B. King, author of Understanding the Man. You can
Yes,
check out
sir.
the book at Understanding the Man on everything. Or just go to Michael and Joy, grab your copy today. Once you got them on sale. What up, Elam?
What
Yes,
up?
sir.
What the word, folks?
Hey, look, I'm just glad to be here today, sir.
You got a big weekend coming up. You ready?
Yeah, a little something. We have a nice event coming up on Sunday. Got some great gentlemen in the house with me today, so we got a nice Sunday afternoon that we're looking forward to.
Understanding the Man is the
Nice
book. You've been
Sunday.
rocking this for a minute, man. This panel, you put some brothers together that's going to give an amazing perspective
Yeah.
on really how to understand us.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's diverse because, you know, a lot of times ladies are like, okay, well, you're only going to have married men on there? No, we got Mr. Jimmy Jones,
Uh-oh.
Kevin Savage,
Like for real
and,
single too.
and
Like
Mr. J. Barnett. So, you know, it's just, you know, a little
Savage.
Yeah.
He's an actor.
You can
Savage.
say savage.
Savage. He is a savage.
I was gonna say Savage the brand.
What up,
What's going on,
Savage?
you guys?
Savage.
What's
I'm
going on?
sorry.
I'm here. I'm in the building.
For understanding, for clarity, is it Savage?
Savage.
Savage. We figured that.
Just say
Slide the mic in
Savage.
front of you so you don't have to be all awkward in doing that thing right there.
Sure.
Tell us about yourself, my brother.
Oh man, you know, here in the A, 5 years. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I started acting when I was probably about 22, 23. So, you know.
About 2 years ago.
All right. Yeah. Got fortunate enough to come here and be a stand-in for Jay Ellis on The Game. From there, the originals. From there, House of Cards. From there, The Quad. I played Terrence Barry, the quarterback. So
Nice.
I've been very fortunate. God has been blessing me, and I'm just here to be here. You know, glad to be here with Mr. Elam King and all you guys, and let's get it.
I
Now,
was gonna say this is a very interesting mix of
Yeah.
guys that
Oh,
Elam
yeah.
has put together.
did you come to Philly as an actor, or do you come down just like to catch like a CAU party or
No,
something?
as an actor.
Really?
As an actor.
Okay.
So you were doing
Yeah,
it in Philly as well?
Yes,
And then,
yes. I was doing more so theater.
Okay.
Okay.
That's where I got my start at. I did a play in church, got cast as lead, and from there, man, I was just like, I got the acting bug.
Who'd you play in church?
So, do you guys remember Little Shop of Horror?
Yes.
Okay, so the person.
Not that movie.
He was the plan.
I know, right? I know. I actually play Seymour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so they did like a Christian rendition.
Yo,
you
that's
know,
crazy,
and
man.
so it was pretty, it was pretty crazy.
A
And
Christian
so,
rendition
yeah.
of that's pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. So what happened was, the Bible says, your sins will devour you if you, don't repent. And so what's going on is, I found this plant. I was feeding it. After a while, it wanted people as opposed to just food.
Okay.
And so now I'm getting all this fame and glory. And after a while, there's some point I can't do it no more. So there's this monologue where I'm just talking to God and I'm just giving up all my fame, riches, and fortune because I want Him back. And so that's how that happened.
Now we always bring up the question when we talk about relationships and religion. I think maybe last week we probably talked about this when Elam was here. Can you have a successful relationship when you and your partner don't agree on the same religion? Is that possible?
Woo!
That's
That
good.
you are sparking something this morning. You know that, right?
Uh-huh.
So
Let's go to chapter 3.
from the Christian standpoint, and that's the only standpoint that I can speak of because I'm Christian. The Bible says, thou shalt not be unequally yoked.
Right.
And so, a lot of people interpret that different ways, but I believe that if I can't pray with you under the same God, a lot of people say, we're praying under the same God, but there are certain rules and stuff under Christianity, and we're talking about specific You know, so you know, if I can't pray with you, if you can't pray with, you know, for me under that same God, I don't know if it can be that successful.
Now, Elam, you talk about that in the book, Understanding the Man, but what if she is the one, but for some reason she's a radical Muslim?
I'm just gonna say like this. I believe it's chapter 13, the importance of spirituality in a relationship, and there's enough roadblocks, there's enough humps and bumps that you're gonna run into, whether you're dating, whether you're, and particularly if you're married or whatever. I would not add that into the equation. Do I know of people who this one goes to this church and this one goes to this synagogue or whatever? Yes, I know of it. You know, and you, like Chris Rock said, you can drive a car with your feet if you want to, but that doesn't make it a good bleep idea. So I would not encourage that. You should both be, you know, maintaining and praying to the same deity.
And equally yoked was the word that we talked about. And you know, Fred Flintstone and them used to stop their car with their feet. You ever see that? They used to pick it up. Remember that, Jim? They used to pick that jump up and start running that thing. Oh, yeah, that was tight right there. Hey, the conference is going down. You're not going anywhere, Mr. Savage or Savage. That's what we're going to call you. We're going to talk more with you. Elam B. King going down Sunday, right?
Yes, sir. Sunday at 4 p.m. at Sage Woodfire Tavern in Buckhead. Right?
Buckhead, shout.
Right next to Lenox Mall.
Damn.
It's a real sexy environment too.
And for information how to come out, RSVP, all that good stuff.
Absolutely, you can actually go to any one of the gentlemen's Instagrams or Facebooks. Actually, you can go to Elam B. King on my Instagram, click on my bio, register on Eventbrite. Understanding a Man versus Kiera Douglas,
Yes, sir.
who's a former Michael and Joy.
A guest here.
Here.
Yeah, shout out to her. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk to Jimmy Jones, because Jimmy Jones is going to be on the panel as well. Hey, don't go nowhere. We got more. It's Michael and Joy in the morning. Power 108.9. Shout it. Wake up.
Joy,
Coffee,
Yes,
give me
sir.
life now.
gotta shake your hand again. I just realized who you were.
Okay.
Jacqueline gave me one of these for for just as a gift because she knew I needed it, and
Jacqueline.
with connecting in Atlanta.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, she did.
And I know you invented this.
Yeah, okay.
That's super dope. And actually, it has helped me tremendously.
Yeah,
So,
shout out
thank
to
you.
Jacqueline.
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
email
Small commercial break of the joystick.
Dope.
Oh yeah,
Brilliant.
Nina, if you go to my Insta story, I tag them
Kevin, can
all,
you
so you
switch
can
out
go
with
in
Jimmy
and kind
real
of
quick?
check
Sure.
out
Yeah, we're just gonna have
all
that
of their
flip.
Instagram names
Yeah,
so
instead
that
of having
you
to share
can
right there.
so that you can follow everybody. And then the event is on Sunday, and again,
What up,
it's
young man?
and all of that information is in my
Everyone
Insta
okay?
story.
All is well.
Good.
All is well, actually.
What up, y'all? Hudson, what it do, man? Tanya, what's going on?
Got a book club. It's going well.
I've been checking you out.
And book sale.
Oh, been rocking.
Stepping up. Yeah.
Omar, did you want to put that up there? Or you were struggling?
Yeah, I had it, but
Okay.
I'm
And then-
still.
and
I was actually struggling with a signal. So
Oh, but you got it now.
yeah, I'm
got it,
good.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Hey, Ronell.
What phone is that?
Hey,
What phone?
James.
What is that?
What's that?
James
is that?
Dunbar.
Note.
A note?
Note
Okay.
8. Yeah.
You'll probably sit here.
Yeah. See, I gotta learn that shit. What is that?
Now, Kevin, I
What
am
we got?
master of the dark.
Hey,
brother.
what's going on
You
right
just
now?
stand
What's
right
going on,
in front of the dartboard.
Brother, I am not.
The Kilgore Music Foundation dartboard. I got you. I promise you, if I hit you, it won't even
It'll
hurt.
just bounce off.
So you should stand right in front of me. right on my chest.
You get different points for different spots that you hit.
What's going on, Mara?
Hey, Daryl. Good morning. Jimmy.
Oh, that's my boy. What up, Daryl?
Hello.
Yeah, you got
Yeah, what up, boy?
Yeah.
Daryl, what up? What up?
Give it a try.
I used to work with Daryl a long time ago.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he comes on Tuesday.
Yeah, he's a motivational speaker now.
Mhm.
Proud of that, brother.
Thank you, Calvin. Good morning.
You know what, Joy?
Good morning.
You know what I'm gonna do?
Good morning.
Yeah, we wouldn't recommend having two separate religions. Y'all need to be the same thing. know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're waking up with Mike.
That would be important.
On Power 108.
You headed to the church.
It would just make it a lot easier.
Hey, headed to the synagogue. That ain't gonna work.
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com is the website. Today's show is being brought to you by my man Elam B. King, author of Understanding the Man. We got some brothers in here today, Shawty. It is
Yes,
the
sir.
brother takeover today on Michael and Joy. What a way to come back, huh, Joy?
Hey!
Hey, people been wondering where you been. Where you been?
I was gonna say I was enjoying some time with my mom and with Brenton. We were at this conference in DC, the Build Your Own Brand Conference. It was the first annual one by Andrew, branded by Drew, and we had a vending booth for joysticks, so we did really, really good. Great networking. They're actually bringing a conference here next year to Atlanta, and then just got some quiet time with the family.
Hey, when Cole Parker don't see you on the show, he always got jokes. First thing he said, Michael, she be leaving you like a daddy be leaving his parents. I mean, like a daddy be leaving his son.
Right.
I be standing here looking sad.
I know, and the funny thing is, I do start off with the text message like, so about Tuesday.
Yeah, I always know when it's going wrong for you because you say Michael in the text. Like, okay, I already know what's coming. Hey, speaking of fathers leaving their kids, Matthew Hogland turned 35 a few weeks ago, but when his father went up to him to say happy birthday, I told him that was not the time or the place because they were in court. They was actually in this Indiana court where Richard, who was the dad, had to appear at a hearing for back child support. Now, a judge ordered him to pay $1.86 million in back child support because of the story behind why he wasn't there. Because the Indianapolis Star reports that the story made headlines back in 2016 when Richard was arrested in Florida, where the then 63-year-old was living with his wife, who knew him as Terry. The dead man whose identity he assumed after fleeing his family back in 1993. So after all of those back payments that he missed because everybody thought he was dead, he assumed it must have been rough at the house.
That third day he resurrected. Now he got to resurrect and make some of these payments.
Right, exactly. But how rough is it at the crib when you just like, you know what, you put an elaborate scheme together to fake your death to get away from them damn badass kids.
I was gonna say that's gotta be pretty intense. The crazy thing is it probably want the kids, it was probably the wife or the baby mama.
He had to change his name and everything.
I thought about it, I just wasn't gonna say it, but Joy said it. So.
I was like, well,
he wasn't getting away from the kids.
You already expected me to say that.
Oh man, my man Jimmy Jones is in the building. What up, Jimmy?
What's good? What he do?
Jimmy, welcome to the show, man. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for
on everything. I know you're a DJ. I know you're a DJ. We go back in the day, but you are a real estate professional, man. You've been doing your thing, and now you're gonna be hanging out with Mr. Elam B. King to discuss understanding the man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Jimmy.
Well, I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Michael and Joy, for having me. Thank you, Elam, for putting together a wonderful panel, Understanding a Man, this Sunday. We're excited. We're gonna be telling, hey, women out there, if you really want to hear from very different men perspective on why you're single. I'm just kidding.
But that's a little real.
I know we outnumbered over here, Jimmy, but slow down.
A little realness in that.
He's going.
Look. This is where I plug the book to Understanding the Man because I did read it. Thank you.
Okay. So, yeah, well, I'm a native of Atlanta by way of Decatur, Georgia, East Atlanta. Represent East Side. But yeah, I'm a real estate agent. My name is I am Jimmy the Realtor. I will not be outworked is my moniker because I'm one of the hardest working real estate agents in the city. But I'm also a party promoter as well. So a lot of people know me from my party background, and I also own and operate one of the largest email marketing companies in Atlanta, TonightAtlanta.com. We have over 80,000 email subscribers.
Wow.
So that's how I promote all my parties and my events, and that's how we're promoting this event on Sunday as well.
Now, Jimmy, I gotta say, we're in a different generation of dating. First of all, are you a single brother?
I have a girl in my life.
Okay, that's cool. Still didn't answer the question. But,
I am divorced. I am a divorced brother. I was happily married for, Chris Rock says, you take the number of years you were married, divided by 2, and that's how long you were breaking up. So I was married for 3 years, divorcing for about a year and a half.
Okay. Right. Now, when you got back into the game and you became single, did the relationship and the dating game change big time when you got back on the market?
Well, it's kind of weird for me because I'm in the event space, so I'm constantly around like people, women, and things of that nature. So I call myself a serial monogamist. I've never really been single, to be honest. I always have just, I like, me personally, I like dealing with one person at a time. Now, sometimes there may be a little overlap here and there.
Hold on.
But I mean, nobody meets somebody that's like good, like worth meeting, and they don't have nobody going on in their life. They have somebody to entertain.
Somebody hanging on.
There's gonna be a little overlap, but at the end of the day, I don't really date like that, because one relationship normally leads to another in my life. I've been blessed.
I was watching a special recently, and it said, "Love is a feeling, monogamy is a rule." You agree with that?
Love is a feeling, monogamy is a rule.
Which would be a choice, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, because there's a lot of stuff out here. There's a lot of diseases. There's a lot of things. I like to play it safe myself, and I like the feeling of monogamy because there's comfort in that, and then whatever you all are building, you all are building it together, so y'all are able to kind of help each other. And then if it doesn't work out, then hey, y'all aren't in a big committed marriage, so y'all don't have to separate. Y'all just go your own separate ways.
But I have seen people that have been in committed relationships, and when they separate, like they literally have issues with pets. But I did see, and then
I had a
there
dog
it is, right?
in my marriage.
I heard
my ex-wife was so mad, like when we left out the court room, like we left. She said, "You didn't even fight for Sophie." So, Sophie was our little. She said, "Out of all things you fought for, you just gave me something like you didn't want that."
I said,
in your mind, you were thinking, right? I sure did.
20 years later, she gonna be hitting you with that back child support for Sophie. She gonna hit you up. And when we talk about love and monogamy. When you talk about that, monogamy just being a rule from a religious perspective, it's a little bit more than just a rule, right?
Man, look, at the end of the day, you have to make a decision when it comes to love. And particularly, I was having this conversation yesterday with two gentlemen, and I said, look, what I keep hearing is ladies keep asking me, Elam, when are you going to come out with the female version of this book? And I say to them, hey, look, it's forthcoming. But right now, what the critical pieces are is that, and one of the catalysts for putting this manual together is that one of the things that I noticed is that a lot of my lady friends or a lot of the people that I knew that were women that were successful in shaking and moving, they were having some struggles in the relationship area. So one of the reasons why this was put together, and Joy can speak to this, and any lady that read this, it's not misogynistic. It's not something like, women, you need to do this, and it's your fault, whatever. At the end of the day, a lot of people don't know themselves. And they don't know that step one is getting to know you first and loving yourself first. Then you can be loved and understanding exactly ways that you can receive love. So, when we're talking about monogamy, you have to be able to love yourself and be able to say, okay, look, I'm going to be with this one person. That's the decision that Jimmy has to make. And it's not easy to be made in Atlanta when the ratio is crazy. To whereas you can make a decision to do something whether it's Hampton or whether it's 13 to 1 to Hampton, you have to make a decision to say, look, I'm going to be with this one person. That's not easy for a young man.
I know it's not easy for women either.
And because we look at perception, Jimmy, because immediately the first thing someone's going to do is they're going to go to your social media. It's the first way they're going to check you out. You know what I'm saying? They're going to look at your social media and they're going to see your tens of thousands of followers. They're going to see that you promote parties, and they're going to judge you and have this perception of you at that point. How do you dispel that perception?
Well, I don't think anybody, should dispel any perception about their life. I think you should just be who you are, and whoever wants to receive you, whoever wants to be in your life is going to be there.
Right.
And I think people gravitate to you more when you are true to yourself. So, I mean, I really feel like it is difficult to be in a, situation where you're not living in who you are, because people can just easily, go find out, and people can zoom in on the background of pictures and I saw you there, you said you were there. Right. So, I mean, it definitely presents more challenges, but there's more responsibility, there as well for, if you are with somebody, to make sure that you at least post them on your social media, because that's the true test of being in a relationship these days.
Right.
That's real.
And when a woman breaks up because all of the pictures disappear of her man, so it's just kind of like,
Hey, you know how
are you single now?
Yeah, you know how people say, look, when y'all break up, look, and we've seen all these pictures, y'all need to tell us what happened. Because we've been watching your pictures.
We were following it.
Let us know what happened in the relationship.
So just because we're here, so you honestly feel like you have to put your relationship in the forefront? Like, I mean, for me, it would be, I feel like when you know that that's the right person, for me. Like, other than that, I want to keep my private life private.
Yeah.
But for a single man out here dating.
Well, for me, the more I put, the woman that's in my life out there, the more women kind of appreciate that. And they're like, oh, well, I would like to be with a man that does that.
Yeah, about that.
And they also
I was gonna say,
door,
and while I want to be with a man like that, what you doing later?
Right.
Hey, when we come back, we got more with Jimmy John.
What you got going on?
Is in the building. Elam B. King is in the building. Hey, Omar Finley is here. We're gonna holler at Omar too. And don't forget my man Kevin is still hanging out with us. Hey, I be trying to wonder when you see all them pictures of that man disappear off of social media. Is it like an auto delete button that they do? Because all them pictures be gone, don't they?
Let's ask Amber Rose.
Every picture be gone. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk to my man Omar. He's in the building. Also, Snoop Dogg is in the Guinness Book of World Records. It has nothing to do with weed, though. He did something else. It's Michael and Joy in the morning. Wake up!
He got that
It's that gospel
I was
city.
about to say he got that gospel.
Look, where's the fact that he has a TV show with a white woman?
People would love to hit a button and delete all the particular pictures of at the same time.
Instead of having to do this.
Yeah.
But while you
But
messing
you want to know
around,
what 9 times out of 10 people are archiving them.
but one of the things that is true.
Screenshots.
Just in case we get back together.
Yeah.
You do have people who I know guys who have women that are upset if you don't post by a specific time if you're with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's 2-3 months in, why you not posting?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't have time for that. I'm sorry. I'm like, actually don't.
Yeah,
I was in a relationship for
what's your
9
zodiac?
years.
I'm a
The
Cancer.
true testament of me being in a relationship was when I posted on Facebook. Everybody was like, yo, somebody done taken over your account. Posted it up there
Somebody
because
hacked
Kev
you.
is not in a relationship. I said, no, I am. And that was like the true testament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And once the
social
post
media.
go up,
Now, this
people
was
like,
the
hey.
True Testament from who? Your social media
My
followers?
social media follower and just my friends, everybody was like, yo, are you serious?
Oh, not the fact
Like,
that you met a mama or,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Or she done met your friends.
Right.
Wow.
No,
Social
the true
media.
testament was
Life is
social media.
changing.
Yeah, life is
What up,
changing.
Mike
Life
Bibby?
is
That's what it is, man.
Yeah, you don't post them.
Oh, wow.
They get mad if you don't post
That,
them.
what your sign ain't gonna work no more, player. All right?
That's what I said. I don't know what I'm bringing to the panel, boy, because all my game is old.
I'm about to say, but
You just gotta pay some bills. You just gotta be a bit.
Right.
You just gotta pay your bills. Pay your bills.
That's it.
That's what you bring to the table.
That's your game right
Hey,
there.
Now that I think
we
about
can
it,
do
in that
a
dating
watch and
phase,
set
I
and a
don't
fill
wanna
in.
be that guy.
That's
You
it.
got too many things you got to pay attention
That's all
to.
you do.
Applebee's.
That's it.
Yeah, it's a whole
Applebee's
game.
is it?
And even if you
Yeah,
want to
I
have
don't watch it, say,
listen,
Praise God,
even if you
man.
want to have your relationship on the low, somebody else snapping
Good for
a
you,
picture
man. Good for
and
you.
then posting it. You know what I'm
That's what's up.
saying?
That's what's up.
Right.
So, nah.
Very
too many
interesting
factors.
conversation this
We back,
morning, guys.
Way too many facts. Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com. Hey, if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. As a matter of fact, here's some celebrities that share that same day with you. Happy birthday to our man, the first black president ever, Morgan Freeman.
Yes, sir.
Come on, y'all. Let's pray for
Yes,
Morgan.
sir.
Boy.
That's
Morgan
real
is going through it right now, boy.
I still haven't read up on what's going on with him.
I was gonna say
Harriet
what-
Tubman, Sojourner
about
Truth, all of them say he touched.
Me too.
Oh my God.
Somebody just rolled over.
Rosa Parks, hey, everybody coming out on
Oh,
Morgan.
I want to.
Bless
But
your
Morgan,
heart.
Papa Morgan is 81 years old today. Also, happy birthday to Heidi Klum. She turns 45. That's Seal wife, right? They still married?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, little Chase Chrisley from the Chrisleys is 22 years old today. Happy birthday to Chase. Also, Nick Young of the Golden State Warriors is 33 years old today.
Shout out to
Happy
that
birthday to Nick. Yeah, shout out to J.R. Smith. What he was thinking about last
Oh
night.
my God.
Look at I said, oh my God.
That's the guy that didn't call us out.
Also,
I didn't
Amy
see.
Schumer turns 36 37 years old today. Alyssa Morissette turns, no, it's not Alyssa. Alanis Morissette turns 44. I guess I spelled that wrong. She's 44 years old today. And a couple of WB birthdays today. WB birthday, Jim, is a would have been birthday.
Got it.
Yeah, would have been. Would have been 92 years old today. Marilyn Monroe. She would have been 92 years old today.
Wow.
She died when she was 36. I did not realize
Super
that.
young.
Yeah, and would have been also 92 years old today, but he held on a little longer. Andy Griffith. He would have been 86 years old today. So happy birthday to those. And also got to say happy birthday to Clarissa Wright. Clarissa, she brought us our Pretty Flower, the first show that we had. Also, Kenny, give me some birthdays on it. Kenny Brandon, my man Kenny Brandon from Mays High is celebrating a birthday today. And Merrill Johnson, real estate professional here in the state of Georgia. Merrill is celebrating a birthday. If you ask him today how old he was, you're probably going to say 22.
Yeah.
No, Merrill. But happy birthday to Merrill. That's my man there.
Yeah.
And while we're at it, happy birthday to Mr. J.R. Ransom. You probably know him out there in the party scene. He did some
J.R.,
party,
that's my boy, yeah.
some party promotion.
You from Atlanta?
Yeah,
Hey,
shout out to J.R. and happy birthday, Clarissa.
Yeah.
And Jimmy actually has a birthday
Yeah,
coming
actually,
up.
Yeah, that's Jimmy's
Tuesday,
birthday.
Today, I think
Happy
it's today or
birthday,
yes,
Jimmy.
tomorrow?
Tuesday, but
Tuesday.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, so never mind.
Well, wow.
I'm celebrating this weekend.
Also,
I'm
got
just messing with you.
to say good morning to my man Ennis Antoine. He's checking in with us. Ennis was the first African American president of the Atlanta Board of Realtors. Ennis checking in with us this morning. And Sheila Maddox. Boy, if you ever been on Camp Creek, boy, you see Sheila Maddox billboard right there. But shout out to Sheila Maddox. We love Sheila Maddox.
If you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you from us, Michael and Joy, and Power 108.9.
Yay, yay! Omar Finley's in the building. What up, Mr. Finley?
Let's go.
Hey, how's it going, man? Shout out to you and the listening tree. How y'all been?
Man, we're doing well.
Man, remember we
love the listening tree.
so honored to say that right before you open it, you came and did Michael and Joy before the
Omar,
opening.
get the dough.
Yeah, get the
No,
dough. That was it.
Right,
That
call
was
me
so
the buck.
funny.
I was in it. Right?
How's it going, man? What was almost 2 years in now?
Yeah, we will be 3 years in
3
November.
years. Wow.
Wow.
Got the Young Entrepreneurs Program kicking off again. I guess 5th session in June 9th. And if people want to get registered, go ahead to listeningtreebooks.com.
Now I want to ask you, since we're talking about understanding the man,
Yeah.
and with the listening tree, like I'm gonna kind of put you out there a little bit. You see dads in there?
Oh, all day.
Okay.
All day. Honestly, man, I see a lot of dads. The reality is you see more dads in reality than what people talk about. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
a lot of dads.
And I'm glad he said that because it's just like this panel that's here right now, and it's indicative of understanding a man. We are out here,
Yep.
and I know it's not portrayed a lot, but the progressively moving forward man is out here. We're not intimidated by you. We like you to be great. We're in our children's families.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're here. So and that's just if you look at this panel, the entrepreneurs that are up here, that are progressively moving forward. Man, we are here. So stop thinking that we're not here.
Why do you think that it's just so much easier to not promote how you guys are present? Everywhere you go, it's like, oh, you're locked up, you're in jail, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're a deadbeat dad, you ain't taking care of your kids. Why is that so much easier than actually promoting the fact that you guys are present and that you guys are showing up?
Well, I would say that there's a narrative that needs to continue, right? So you've got a bunch of black men who really are doing a great job, and in order to keep the bad narrative going, you can't promote that. That's an issue if that becomes a norm, because now you have society saying, okay, why'd you do this to this guy, right? So now you have society on your side versus having society against you.
And the sad part about it is we look at entertainment as if it's just entertainment, but in all actuality it's programming, because what's happening is we're just programmed to think that way, even though we might try to fight it and say, oh, not like I said, it's just TV, or it's just that. That perception is programmed and etched in your brain that this is how black men are. And like I said, when I threw the question out there, do men show up? Because that's our perception, is that men don't support their kids as it pertains to reading and writing and all that good stuff. So I'm glad you cleared that up.
You see it a lot in the photos.
The beauty of it is you really do. You see a lot of fathers who are interested in putting their children on the book club, and that's one of the biggest things that you see. And then what you also see is fathers who always seem to bring. They don't just show up solo. They bring their children. They bring their wife. They show up at different events. They have a lot to say about what they want their children to be reading and thinking about. So they're very involved.
Yeah.
Shout out to the dads of the world.
Tell us how you started to listen to Tree. Let's talk about that story, because it's been 3 years and people probably don't even remember.
No
Omar,
doubt.
get the dough!
No doubt.
That was 3 years ago?
3 years.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
November, we
Absolutely.
started in November too.
So the way it started out is my wife and I, Kimberly, we wanted to just get a book about faith for our children, and it was always books that didn't include any of us, right? And so we decided, well, hey, let's write one, right? So we saw opportunity, and so we wrote the book. 90 days later, we had sold 500 copies. 500 copies a second time in about 45 days. And I was working as an electrical engineer, and so there's a lot of things that was going on at the time, and I was dealing with a lot of racism on the job. But the bottom line was, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur in general. So we sat down and talked, and she and I, we sat down and came up with the name The Listening Tree, and said, you know what, there's an opportunity here. Let's carve out a market.
There you go. How long you and your wife been married?
It's 13 years this past Monday.
Congratulations. And when you look back on those 13, and I always talk about how the game has changed. Like I laughed with Jimmy a second ago, and my wife and I, we've been together almost 25 years now. I wouldn't know where to start if I got back out on the dating scene. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm still asking, hey, what's your number? And shout, you know what I'm saying? I don't even think y'all do that no more.
Right.
Yeah. What's
What's
your
your social
sign?
media?
I did it last week.
Well,
I
then
wouldn't know
there's
where to
that.
start.
But you're in that same boat.
Yeah,
13
same
years
here,
in the
same
game?
here, man. That's what I said. We just celebrated, man. Had a ball, and it goes up and it goes way down. You know what I mean? It's not. It's like, I think it's like what Elam was saying, is that it's truly a decision. That when things get rough, you got to remember that's what makes the good times good.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
There you go. What you got coming up at the Listening Tree?
Oh man, we got Meet the Author coming up on the 17th. We'll have we do it every Saturday from 2 to 4, and we've got several authors coming in. But right this second, I got so many.
No, you're good. We'll get it written down.
But yeah, it's every Saturday from 2 to 4. Meet the Author. Make sure you sign up for our Young Entrepreneurs program. Starts on June 9th, and get your children. Go ahead and log on to listeningtreebooks.com and get your children set up for our book club, B-Boys and B-Girls Book Club. You get a book and a newsletter every month.
I love it.
And you get a gift every third month. So we're gonna make sure you get real value in what you have.
And what's the address?
2308 Candler Road, Decatur, Georgia, 30032.
East Side. Hey, today is the 1st of June. Not only is it time to pay your rent or time to get that disability check you've been anxiously waiting for, today is what, Joy?
It's also National DJ Month. During National DJ Month in June, radio and TV stations, owners, show hosts, business, retailers, and music lovers alike celebrate the disc jockey. DJs, masters at their craft. About that. With technical skill, keep the nightclubs dancing, fitness studios sweating, and music festivals feeling the rhythm. Whether broadcasting to listeners on the radio, engaging TV audiences, or setting the mood for a special occasion, the DJ is essential.
Shout out to the DJs in the building. Gotta say shout out to Jimmy
DJs.
Jones. Also gotta say shout out to DJ LV, one of my favorite DJs of all time. So shout out to you, Mr. Cool Dash Rock. Hey, I told you guys about Snoop D-O-double-G. Well, guess what? He made news over the Memorial Day weekend because while everybody else was barbecuing and catching up on sleep, guess what Snoop Dogg was doing? He was at the Bottle Rock Napa Valley Music Festival on Saturday. Snoop teamed up with rapper Warren G and Top Chef winner Michael. Yeah, he just won it. They created the world's largest gin and juice. Now, the glass was about 5 feet tall, 3 feet wide, containing just over 145 gallons. Now, it took 180 bottles of Hendrick's gin, 154 bottles of apricot brandy, and 38 jugs of orange juice to make the epic drink. Y'all wonder why y'all ain't heard nothing from Snoop for 10 days on social media? He just finished that joint off.
That's some new
Hey,
right
when we come back, we're going to talk more. Understanding the man, Michael Joy in the morning. Wait up.
Man.
See,
Get
me,
your
I made
tickets
the
this
juice
Sunday.
I didn't drink. You know what I'm saying?
Go to Understanding the Man on Eventbrite and get your free ticket. It's gonna be pretty intense, ladies.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Don't go nowhere.
Yeah, I was like, yo, that's some noob juice right there.
Yeah.
For real.
For real.
I was gonna say, though he did comment on the Drake
Pusha T.
and Pusha T.
Beef.
It was so funny because all it is a video and he's like listening to him rapping, and you know Snoop's facial expressions are
Oh,
everything. So it wasn't that far removed.
What's your take on it?
I was gonna say it's a lot. There's a lot going on. You know, I'm from VA, so I love Pusha. You know, I mean, but at the same time,
I have
Drake
no idea who Pusha
Drake had
T
some very
is.
nice lyrics for
Who's
him.
Pusha T?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Pusha T was from the Clips.
You remember the
I'm
clip?
about to say, you know what? I'm gonna smack you.
Oh, I got you.
I was gonna say,
Well,
yeah.
you know, I dug into it last night for the first time. Maybe.
What?
I dug into it last
Oh,
night for
okay.
the
Just
first
to
time.
see what was going
Just
on
to see
and
what was
just to
happening.
hear.
And
Yeah.
it,
Nah, I
and
ain't
it looks
get
like
sick,
you're trying
Mo.
to get back in the scene.
Oh yeah, of
You know.
course. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
You know? And Drake was like, sure, why not? This is the second time you've come for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
Let's
not?
do it.
I'll give you a little shine. 15 seconds.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
that
just
verse
extra
is
promotion for both of them.
Yeah.
Was the
Exactly.
last time somebody tried to come for Drake though? He got his feelings hurt.
Yeah,
Well,
but Meek ain't no Pusha T though, man.
Yeah, he ain't. Yeah.
Pusha T's
Pusha
a
T
ghostwriter.
Yeah. He
So
definitely.
he's sick with that pen.
Yeah.
He hit below the belt though.
I was gonna say, but
couple
you know
times.
what? I don't even necessarily.
It was
know
some
whether
stuff
or
I didn't
not
even want to hear.
It's about
It's
winning
all
and
40
losing.
about
Yeah,
to
he
die.
about to die of sickle cell. I'm like,
Oh, he did
no.
talk about his.
That's
He
just
brought
too
up
much, man.
he brought up what his child and whether or not he was a deadbeat.
Drake said he is gonna address that on his next little album project.
He talks more
They said
about his
prostitutes.
father.
they said somebody leaked the fact that he had the baby because it's
Oh, I'm
on the
sure.
album.
Oh,
Yeah, he talked about it on the album.
Oh,
and
okay.
somebody leaked it and told Pusha T. But when he sent him that damn invoice though, when he sent Kanye that invoice,
I thought it was over. I thought it was
did
over.
too. I was like,
I thought it was over.
Yeah.
But then Pusha came back.
Being,
Sent
you know, he's
Kanye
like
in.
one of those people that's like, you're not gonna have the last
Mike.
word.
Right. Oh no.
That's how I am.
Look,
Yeah.
Drake.
Go ahead,
I mean,
Yeah.
Drake sent
Oh.
Kanye an invoice for boosting Pusha T's career.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
for making him relevant again.
Yeah.
Like, you owe me $100,000
$100,000
just for me mentioning him in this record.
There you go.
And he actually made the invoice and,
Right,
and posted
And
it.
posted it.
That was
Disrespectful.
Yeah.
Creative.
I was gonna say,
Without him below the belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the type of,
That's
stuff I
the
like.
type of-
I don't like
mental.
you calling people out and
Yeah.
stuff. I don't want to hear all the
That's
people
that-
business.
It's like fighting. You all, when I see,
Right.
I want to fight you after what
Right.
you just said. But
Yeah.
sending me the little invoice. Oh, that was cute.
That was
yeah,
cute.
That was a good
But
one.
you want to know what that's? I mean, the hitting below the belt. That's when it's too much.
Yeah.
Like if we could just use
That's like
that
Tupac,
wordplay
Biggie, like,
and use
somebody's
my
gonna
brain.
get shot now.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what we're
Somebody
saying.
has to die.
So you bring your face up. That's what we do.
At this point.
You bring up my baby mama. in
I have to fight you.
We was laughing about that yesterday. Tupac just came out and said, first off, I'm such a white.
First off,
Yeah.
fuck the bitch,
I like-
fuck your clique, and the chick you claim. West Side.
Man.
Claim to be a killer,
I'm gonna play
but
this one.
there's one thing you need to know.
about
You sit
that.
there and listen to that and be like, ooh.
That's so that
First
you
two
gonna
or
so
three
you just gonna
sentences.
lead with that.
Yeah.
We don't even have to listen to the rest of the song.
That was the song.
I'm sorry, Kim.
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com is the website. Today's show is being brought to you by Elam B. King, author of Understanding the Man. And the conversation is going down this Sunday.
Yes,
Where?
sir.
Yes, sir, at the Sage Woodfire Grill in Buckhead, right
Buckhead.
next to the Lennox Mall.
I'm excited.
That's what I'm
Got
talking
my
about.
free ticket.
Hey, we got a lot to talk about. I'm talking about the CEO of the Grammys. He's stepping down. I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you about one of the luckiest lottery players of all time today, which is the 1st of June, 2018.
Today is National Leave the Office Early Day. And also it is in the Peanuts comic strip. Linus security blanket made its debut in 1954. And while we're at it, in 1980, CNN cable news network made its first debut as the first all news station.
Oh, shout out to Ted Turner. That was 80?
That was in 1980, the year that I arrived.
What about Linus's blanket, though?
I was gonna say, well, what about his blanket? Yeah, we called Brenton Linus for a good while.
What was his
blanket?
Oh yeah,
no, I mean he still has a blanket.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he has two, and it's so cute because he clearly gets it from me. I'm sorry, Brenton.
What do you have?
I have a pillow.
And you take
like
it everywhere
still
you
have
go?
a pillow, like to the point where this guy I was dating was like, "This pillow's got to go," and I was like, "Actually, what it's not gonna do is it's not going anywhere."
Wow. How old is the pillow?
Huh?
How old is the pillow?
It's been around. it's been through quite a few relationships, some friendships. You know what I'm saying? And guess where it is? Right at the house. And guess where that boy is?
Go.
At his old house.
Wow, the pillow survived.
The pillow survived.
The
It's
massacre.
not going anywhere.
Hey, but shout out to Ted
Shout
Turner
out to
though.
the pillow.
Talk about CNN. If you think about it, back in 1980, when Ted Turner came up with the idea, it was actually released. They did it in 80, so he was probably thinking about this in the 70s and mid 70s. He was forward thinking as it pertained to 24-hour news cycles. Because if you guys remember, I don't know, some of you guys might be too young, but you only saw the news like 2 times a day. You know what I'm saying? There was your morning news that probably came on from 7 to 8. Then you probably had the 5 or 6 o'clock news. And then you had 11 o'clock news. That was it. Ted Turner was being a forward thinker and said, what do you think about 24 hours of news? And right there, I think that's really where you know things start to go south, because now when you got 24 hours of content, you're always having to create content. That's why some of the smallest stories in the world, because you're trying to fill up that airtime.
I was gonna say, and one of the things that bothers me about the news is that you actually sit there and watch 45 minutes of an hour of stuff that's negative, and then 15 minutes of something positive. By the time I get to the positive stuff, like I don't even want to hear anything positive because I've just been beat down with somebody raped somebody, somebody's kid did this, some school just got blown up, blah 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 blah.
And in the midst of it, they throwing a little son, hey, little Johnny got accepted to Harvard.
Exactly. No, but that's real. But that goes back to like the narratives that Omar was talking about earlier. And even when you go to any type of personal development or any type of workshop, the first thing that you always hear is, don't watch the news. You know, I mean, because it's called television for a reason. It's telling your vision. And so when we're looking at, I don't care if it's relationships, I don't care if it's, you know, whatever, or, you know, just if we're talking about men of color or whatever. And what's programmed out there is that, you know, we're in the streets, or we in jail, or what have you. No, we're educated. Right? Yeah. We're entrepreneurs, right? We have the good 9 to 5s or whatever, and we like to be in monogamous relationships. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, we have to watch what we watch, because you're a product of the things that you see and what you hear. So when people say, "Oh, I just watch it for entertainment," no, you're being programmed.
Understanding the Man, author Elam B. King is in the building. Also, my man Kevin Savage is in the building. Hey, real quick, my man Neil, he will step down as president and CEO of the Recording Academy for the Grammy Awards next year because of backlash over some remarks that he made about women. Check this out. Now, the organization announced Thursday that Neil chose not to seek an extension on his current contract, which ends next year. He has led the Academy since 2002. Now, Neil was criticized at the Grammys this year when he said women need to step up when asked about the lack of female winners backstage. Now, only 2 female performers won awards during the live telecast. Do you think that's cause for someone to step up, or are we going a little too far when we say, women, you got to step your game up?
I think that's going a little bit too far. And I guess the reason, I mean, I understand what he was saying in a sense, but, you know, it's all about your context and the way you say stuff. I think the way that he said it was extremely disrespectful. You just have to know how to word things. You know, if you feel like women, you know, there's certain things that women should be doing to get to a certain level, then it should come out of a place of more encouragement as opposed to a derogatory statement like that. I mean, that's just how
I just always thought that men were supposed to be helping lead us to where we need to go.
So,
after he made the statement, did he play his song Independent Woman?
So he was trying to
exactly.
Do we need to coddle them then? Is that the same thing in relationships? Do we not tell them the truth in the beginning, or do we have to walk on eggshells?
You tell the truth, but it's all in the way that you tell the truth.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm giving, you know, if I'm giving you love, then you're going to receive it in love. And at the same time, if I'm saying, listen, this is what you need to do, but it's in love, then you're going to receive it better.
Right.
If I'm just like, this is what you need to do, and you know, point blank. You know, there's so many different deal with it. Yeah. There's so many different ways to take that, and most of the time, it's not, you know, like receptive. So you really got to be, you know, smart about how you speak.
Women need to step up.
It depends on, well, we talking about, well, I won't even go down the acting side, but I will say, yeah, when it comes to relationships, women do need to step up. When we're, and I mean, men do too, but there's certain areas, I think sometimes we've been for so long we've been hearing about how men need to step up until when we come along with something like understanding the man and we say, hey, look, ladies, step one, you know, get to know yourself first. Oh, well, what about what he, no, let's talk about you.
Let's start there.
Let's start here, okay? Because here's the thing. The only common denominator in all the relationships that did not work is you. So you can sit up there and say, okay, well, all men cheat. So you just happen to pick out of the 3.5 billion men on the planet, you just happen to pick all the ones that so we all cheat.
So that's how that works.
What about maybe your picker is off? You know, you're picking wrong. Okay, but you know what? Because something inside of you has not been correctly put together, you don't even know how to be loved.
Joy, you mentioned earlier this morning watching the basketball, the single wives of basketball.
Yes.
Is that the name of the show?
Sure.
Yeah, the young lady, the basketball ladies, the wives of basketball.
Okay, yeah.
How she said that she expect for her men to cheat.
Yeah, well, yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting because in my life, I mean, what I saw obviously were my parents together till my dad passed away. I see the same scenario with my brother who is, I mean, just a loving marriage. I don't expect you to cheat. I'm going to tell you in the beginning that this is what I expect from you, and I expect you to be faithful. I expect for what we have to mean so much to you that Halle Berry can walk by naked and you be like, you know what, she had a baby already, I'm straight. She ain't even my WCW no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a matter of fact, she done busted out 2 of them. So, you know what, I'm good.
But Joy, I gotta say this, Joy.
Kevin, I didn't ask you.
I gotta say this, Joy. At the same time, you gotta keep it tight.
Yep.
I was gonna say, well, trust and know that I read the book. I've also read Daryl's book. I mean, I am faithful to going to counseling. I know what I need to work on. I know what I needed to better. You know, I mean, Elam and me are super, super tight. He knows. And I mean, people that know me know that I am not afraid of working on me, and I'm accountable to my BS. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
No, but but men are visual at the end of the day, and you are. I will say, particularly to women who are married, you are accountable for keeping yourself put together.
Yeah, of course.
We're talking about minus any biological or any illnesses or whatever case it be. Right. It is not okay to get married and just let yourself go. Right. Yeah.
But at the same time, if you do see me letting myself go, you should be like, baby, we gotta go to the gym.
And you're right.
Let's take this walk, holding hands and stuff in the park.
Michael and Joy in the morning.
5 miles later.
When we come back, we'll talk more understanding the man. And since we're talking about WCWs and Halle Berry, I got mad when Anna Nicole Smith lost all that damn weight. I like the big Anna Nicole Smith.
I bet you did.
I did.
She would have bodied you, dog.
Hey, I'll take that chance. Then. I will take that chance. Hey, we come back, we got more. It's Michael and Joy in the morning. What's that move?
What? She would have bodied you?
No, that move you just did. MichaelandJoy.com.
On a bum knee. Hey, what up, Dolores? Joy, we need to know who we are. We do need to know who we are. And look, if you can't afford the gym, your baby can take you walking.
I got good rates.
Oh, you're a well, here he is. I was going to say it's a call. Mark.
Get to the gym.
What's his name? Is he on the panel?
No.
Who is he?
Mark
you
Bissett. He is
Somebody calling?
Yeah.
Hey, do we have anybody calling in today? You know, we got the panel here. Ask them the questions.
Yeah, we're going in today.
I mean, or you can save it for Sunday.
Look, everybody's wide open.
Feel free to ask some questions.
Making it rich.
What up? Workout at home.
We haven't gone in on them yet today, have we?
No. Well, you know, you just the energy is honest. No. Right. You know what I mean? Like nobody in here trying to. I guess.
I'm about to.
No, what I mean, my point is, you got so much confidence in everybody here. We all comfortable in our skin. You follow me? So yeah, so it's easy conversation. You know, that's what I'm getting.
Great.
But that's honestly how it, like on Sunday, that's how it's going to be.
Hold on 1 second. Good morning, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great. Let's talk about Collusion, all in together now.
Collusion, a great comedy. It's my first comedy feature. I'm screening it Sunday morning the 3rd in Davenport, Florida. It's about a one-night stand that went wrong.
Whoops.
So this guy named Lucky has a one-night stand, and then this one-night stand tells him she's pregnant, and if he wants to see the child, he has to pay her $10,000. So throughout the movie, he's trying to get this money so he can pay this crazy chick off so he can see his daughter.
Wow. I'm going to say, this, by any chance, do you personally relate to this story?
I plead the fifth.
Okay.
Really?
Never know she was going to
While we're talking about Collusion, I know that you said that you are going to be in Davenport, Florida. When are you making it to Atlanta, and how can we check it out?
I was trying to come this morning, to be honest with you, but I got to be in Brooklyn tonight at the Barclays for that 30th anniversary Young TV rap show. I might not make that, but I'm supposed to be there.
All right.
I don't have a home for it yet. I have an agent.
Okay.
Who might be my ex-agent.
Oops. About to say, your track record ain't really all that great, Mark. I'm just messing with you. So we did have the YouTube link, and I noticed that you did post it. So can we share that for everyone who's interested in hearing more about the movie?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, sounds
and actually,
great.
I don't know if you guys remember, I was trying to get you guys in this movie.
Yeah, so see what had happened was my agent forgot to call me back. That call waiting was extra, and I didn't really have it in my bank account at the time. So I'm just messing with you, Mark. I was going to say, but you got us on the next one, right?
I'm doing it now. It's for 100 Miles and Gunning. It's about a bank robbery. I'm almost done with the script, so yeah, you guys are definitely in that.
That's what I'm
saying. If
about.
I could just be one of the girls at the bank.
Perfect.
Appreciate you, Mark. Thank you so very much. When you come through Atlanta, make sure that you holler at us.
Oh, and before I go, I want to say congrats on the new crib. I want to come check it out, but congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mark. We
appreciate
that.
All right.
Yes, hey, check it out, the new John. It's called Collusion. Did you just hang up on the man?
No, we said goodbye.
He didn't say goodbye.
I was gonna say, look, I said we'll holler at you when you get here.
You said you was gonna say, but you didn't say it.
Look, bye, Mark. Love you.
Probably watching. Hey, we
got
come back.
YouTube
We're gonna talk. Jimmy's in the building. Elam's in the building. Omar's in the building. And of course, my man Kevin is in the building. Kevin said he got a rehearsal to do today. He got a call back today. He gotta go to work.
Hey.
But trying to tell me I wasn't just talking to myself. Okay. Yeah. It's Michael and Joy in the morning. We'll be right back.
Shout out to Understanding a Man versus Kiera.
Yeah.
I was going to say the link is on my Facebook page. It's on all the fellas' pages too. You can go to Eventbrite and search Understanding a Man. The tickets are free. And it's at Sage Tavern in Buckhead from 4 to 6.
Yes, ma'am.
Get there early, ladies.
Shout out to Kiera Douglas.
Yeah.
And Jay Barnett. Jay couldn't be here. He had a little shum, but he'll be here on
I wasn't
Sunday.
necessarily sure how I was going to feel calling him
Motivational
King
speaker.
Jay.
Yeah, King Jay.
It's like,
He's a
so I
real
can't
deal.
just call you Jay. Hey, Clarissa, happy birthday, beautiful. I was all excited to wish her happy birthday, and he didn't took it out of my mouth. I was like, yeah, you know the girl that brought the flower.
I have not gotten a Hampton t-shirt yet.
I didn't, this wasn't from him. This was, when we were having homecoming, I was like, let me find something that's Hampton related.
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelAndJoy.com. Today's National Donut Day. That's what I meant.
I was going to say, yeah. The funny thing is that it's not on the paper. I was like,
hey,
donuts.
Yep, today is
Shout
National
out to
Donut
CNN.
Day. Joe First, Business Across America offer freebies, of course, and deals for all donut lovers. If you go to Dunkin' Donuts today, you can get a free classic donut with your choice You gotta buy a drink though, but you can get a donut. You like Dunkin' Donuts too, right?
I was gonna say yes. Truly, Dunkin' Donuts coffee to me tastes better than Starbucks.
Oh, you're on the call. We talking the donuts part of it.
Yeah, well,
you like which donut you like best?
I actually like the chocolate covered donut.
Oh,
with
from
the
Dunkin'?
icing on it.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't necessarily matter where it's from. I just
you just like that chocolate junk. Hey, and also if you like Krispy Kreme is offering one free donut as well to each customer at participating stores in the United States. As a matter of fact, we're gonna call that one on Cobb Parkway because you know we ain't got no long distance over here, so we got to stay local when we make our calls. So we're gonna call that one on Cobb Parkway.
I didn't even know that existed.
To make
still.
sure, they do. I guess in the
Long
office setting it
distance
is.
still exists.
Hey, Elam B. King is in the building with us today. The men are talking, understanding the man. The book is out right now. Kiera, why did you select Miss Kiera to co-host this jump with you?
Well, first of all, I met her on the Michael and Joy in the Morning show.
Yeah.
Okay. And just following her and watching how she interacts with her husband, I think it's great. She has her own segment. It's not like, and her coming from Wags of Atlanta, whatever the case would be, I like her spirit. And I think she's a great mom, great wife. And the first maybe 15, 20 minutes on Sunday, what we're going to do is just kind of ask Kiera some questions with regard to how her relationship and with her husband, how they keep things together, just to give some tips. Because at the end of the day, and even with the panel discussion afterwards, this is to help enhance people's relationships.
Because with Kiera, her husband is Harry Douglas, former Atlanta Falcon. I think he's with Houston right now. The Titans, yes, he's with the Titans right now. Football, and that was the whole thing with Kiera, having a professional athlete as a husband. And I remember her. I'm gonna say I first met her, but when the Atlanta Falcons did their HBO special, that's when we got a chance to see Kiera and Harry, and for what we saw on TV, how cool they were with each other in that relationship.
I think one of the things that I love about her relationship, and I love about the take that she's going to bring, is that you see a lot of women getting married for the wrong reason. She actually got married for the right reason. She actually respects her husband. She likes her husband. She loves her husband. It's not just, I've got to be married by a certain time period because I need to have kids. And I do love the fact that she's going to really speak to some of these millennials who are contemplating getting married.
And even somebody just asked on social media, is her sister gonna be there? That's what they want.
I'm sure she is. Normally roll with her sister, so she probably
gonna be there.
Everybody doing that. Oh yeah. Yeah, but I like that. You know what I'm saying? From an entrepreneurial perspective and just from a family perspective, just who she is. Certain people give off a certain energy, and you can feel that. And I felt her energy from that day. Like, okay, she's really cool people. She's not just some celebrity wife.
Yeah,
She had her own identity.
Yeah,
exactly. 2 or 3 businesses.
They got that dance studio. I mean, and she's her own individual. She didn't say, okay, well, I'm going to get married and now I'm just going to turn into this football wife. She was like, you do you, baby. I'm going to do me. And then we can meet in the middle and do things together.
Jimmy Jones is in the building. Jimmy is going to be on the panel this Sunday with Elam B. King and a host of others. Kevin Savage is going to be on the building. Who else on the panel?
King J. Barnett. And of course, we got Mr. Omar Finley and you already said Kevin, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, and Mr. Michael McFadden as well.
I'll be there. I'll just be the pretty face on the panel.
I was gonna say it's all about perspective.
I'll be the baby boomer on the panel. Yes. Hey, Jimmy.
The baby boomer.
Yeah, the baby boomer. Hey, would you get married again?
Wow. The question I never thought you'd ask. Yes, I would definitely get married again. I'm celebrating my birthday this weekend, turning 39.
Wow.
So I'm knocking on 40's door. So, I got married too soon. You know what I mean? And I'm divorced now. But and my ex-wife actually just recently remarried, and they have a new kid coming. And I'm happy for them. I just feel like there's a time in the season, and I think you have to pick the right season in your life to where you're ready for that type of responsibility. And I'm getting back there.
Quick question. You said too soon. Too soon meaning too soon for you emotionally, or too soon for the relationship to go to that next step?
Too soon in the relationship to go to the next step.
Was it pressure?
My mama gave me a lot of pressure. every time I brought my ex-wife, when we were dating home, she was like, because we were actually cohabitating.
Okay.
And, my mom was from the old school, so she was like, Y'all need to stop shacking. God is not gonna bless your house and y'all shacking.
Right. But that's real with him saying
but
that.
I needed to test drive a little bit, and I asked for forgiveness because when you live with somebody, that's when you really find out who they really are. But go ahead, I need to interrupt you.
No. Go ahead.
This is how
just the simple fact,
this Sunday is going down.
Going down.
No, but a lot of times people do get pressure like that because think about it. Step one, the decision that they made to move in together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then next you get the pressure of, okay, well y'all need to go ahead and get married, or you have a kid, and then you're like, well, y'all need to go ahead and get married. That's why we have to watch all these decisions. This is a life partnership. It's okay to slow down, right? And a lot of times, and my parents did it as well, and they've been married 47 years, but they lived together for the first 2 years. I'm kind of on the fence of that, or whether you should be living, shacking or whatever before you get married.
And what happens is we continue to pass that mindset down generationally. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You talk about how your parents were around the same age, kind of, sort of, but not really. But
around the same age.
Right. I had to clear that up. But the same thing. Me growing up, that's what we were taught. That's what we saw. If you with someone, you can't move in unless you're married. You can't have a baby with them unless you're married. You won't be blessed. But on the flip side, you mentioned we got to test drive the product, just like they do. They have to test drive the product.
Not
Is
necessarily.
that a message that now you have to teach, that we have to teach our little ones? Not the test drive, but at least give yourself chance to see if you really, because when you get married, you're saying we're going to be together, better or worse, rich or poor, sickness and health. You're making a commitment.
Yeah. I mean, I think that no one can predict what the future holds in any relationship. You just gotta ride the waves and the bumps, like you were saying. I think someone said earlier that your downs are real down. But when you're in an incubated situation where y'all cohabitate, it's as close. I mean, you sign in. I look at marriage as a business relationship because you're signing. I tell people all the time, I was like, would you ever sign a contract that has a 50% chance of failure?
Right.
And I'm just like, that's some scary stuff.
That's real.
So, starting with a year lease, where it expires 365 days, you know that at least I can get out with a 60-day notice.
Jimmy, with a 60-day notice. Jimmy, it's funny because they've been giving me a hard time for the past 3 years. They have been giving me a hard time because I've always said, why not? The first 2 years of a marriage is no paperwork involved.
Right.
No paperwork involved. We're gonna
due diligence period. A due diligence period.
Yeah. After 2 years, if we decide, okay, we can do this thing, then we can start sharing our benefits and putting each other's name on the car. That's what I was thinking. Everybody was shooting me down.
I was like,
not a good
Michael, because
idea.
let's just be honest. You and Tasha been married for 20 what years?
23.
Would you have done that then?
I
was
plead
gonna
the fifth.
Yeah,
But you have to think about, Jimmy just brought up a very good point. Nobody in here would sign a contract. There's like 50, you have a 50% chance of this thing not working out. And so you have to think about that from a life partnership perspective and make sure that we're ironing out a lot of these details up front, and being real up front, getting everything out. Because I don't think this shouldn't be anything wrong with a prenup.
I don't think there should be anything wrong with the prenup either.
I mean, why not? You coming into the relationship with what you got, you should get out with what you came in with.
You heard that Jay-Z line. Take everything you came with.
Yeah.
Hey, finally, after 2,743 guests on Michael and Joy, I finally found one person that agreed with me. Jimmy, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, we got you. Hey, when we come back, we're going to wrap this show up and put a bow on it. Michael and Joy in the morning at michaelandjoy.com.
He said at least.
That's one person.
You gotta say that in the show.
That's for real.
That was dope.
That was dope.
365 days.
That was
Jimmy,
good.
60-day notice, you're good, right?
Look, I like to put in my 60-day notice. I'll start moving my stuff out gradually. And I need my deposit back.
But if they brought that into the play, like, okay, for the first 2 years of your marriage, you get out and you can't
scot-free.
Scot-free. Would somebody have I wouldn't have a problem with that.
I think it has a lot to do with personality, right? Because for me personally, I gotta jump in. Personally, I gotta go for it.
Yeah.
Like if I know I'm here, I'm bored. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like
If you know,
doing
if
it,
you're,
they're not
what
always
do you
in.
mean if you know you're here? Like if you know that
He's
you
just
can
gonna
leave.
go get married. He's
right,
not gonna lease it.
like
Right,
so
right,
so
right,
so
right.
well, just put it real. Before
No
I got
leases.
married,
No
I didn't think I could get married.
Right.
Because the world is beautiful, right?
Oh,
That's a good way to put it, Omar.
Kim, he trades real
It's a
good.
beautiful word out here.
You know what I'm saying?
That was nice.
That was nice.
So, but
The
the,
world is beautiful.
man, I mean, but
Hey, Kim.
Come on.
you know, but at the end of the day, after being married, I realized it wasn't nothing out there.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? So it's like without actually jumping into the boat, I would have never known.
Right. I mean, you know, you gotta. I think that at the end of the day, the main thing is asking the hard questions first.
Yeah.
You know, like there's so many people that are afraid to be transparent, and I think we talked about it the last time. Be like truly naked, not in the I take my clothes off sense, but in the truly naked, so that they can actually say, okay, this is all my junk. Are you willing to deal with all of it? And the same back from the other person. This is all my junk. Because if at the end of the day someone else is like, well, did such and such tell you about such? Yeah, I already know about that. Now what? You know what I mean? Like you gotta be able to just communicate. And I think that we're on this superficial thing. What can he bring to the table? What can she bring to the table? That we don't have those conversations.
Michael and Joy in the morning. We back. Today's show being brought to you by Elam B.
Like
King,
this.
Understanding the Man. He is the author. As a matter of fact, you can hang out with Elam B. King and his amazing panel that's going to be having a discussion about relationships and love and money and all that. Jimmy Jones is in the building.
Jimmy
Kelly
Jones.
Savage is in the building. And of course, my man Omar Finley is in the building. Yo, I just pulled up an old story, man, and they talked about divorce in the Muslim religion, and they just recently changed it because back in the Muslim in their religion, all you had to do was say, "I divorce you 3 times," and it was a wrap. No judge, no nothing.
Yeah, I actually found that my brother's Muslim, and so I found that out inside of that culture. When he told me that, I was just like, "Word, you just roll out with 3, clicking your heels 3 times? Is that how it do? You know?"
I'm going to Kansas.
Right, and then my wife just chimed in and said, "Ask me that same question about that 24-month lease. Ask me what she'll say."
Right.
Trying to put it on you, yeah.
She's gonna punch you 3 times.
Hey, and before we get out of here today, I want to say thank you, brothers, one, for hanging out with us, but I want to dispel the myth that all men want to run around single all their life.
Right.
That's not the case.
No,
and I
sir.
want to come with you, Omar, because you're married. You're married, 13 years in the game, man.
Yeah.
We love coming home and
Come on.
your wife is there. Not
Come on.
saying because the clothes are washed or the kitchen. It's just the point of having somebody there.
Hello. Yeah. For me, we like I said, we just celebrated 13, and I'm not looking to jump nowhere.
Right.
And I mean, in all reality, I really do enjoy having a family and having somebody to come home to.
Yeah.
And
Having a friend,
There you go.
a confidant.
And even from a spiritual perspective, I mean, when it says a man that finds a wife finds favor, that's real.
Yeah.
I feel like that, whether it's Omar, whether it's Jimmy, whether it's Kevin, whether it's King J, Michael, whomever, I think that we can go out here and be a strong 8 by ourselves. But that 9 and that 10, that comes from that collaboration with the woman at the end of the day.
100.
There's certain things that she can just pick out. Hey, baby, do this a little better, do that a little better, and that's what takes the 9 and to the 10.
I was at the bank one. I got to tell this. It's a true story. I was at the bank and we was going to open up the children's bank account. We do young entrepreneurs, everything. And this day was a Saturday. Had Kim with me, and my personality. I'm bubbly. I bounce around. You follow me?
Not you, Omar.
Right. So at the end, we sitting there, and she's telling me on the way there, she's like, "Omar, do you have all of the information to open up the account?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we got everything. You know what I'm saying? We good. Let's go." So we get there. We sit there for probably 45 minutes. Finally get into the office and find out we ain't got that information.
Wow.
Right? So
Kim was like, I knew it.
and she said, and then when she said something, but here what happened. When we got back in the car, she was going off. And I sat there and looked at her. I said, "Man, baby, sometimes I just need you around." and I'm going to be real with you. That was real.
That was a real.
That's
real. That's real. And
go ahead.
No.
And all I'm saying
What are y'all say something?
yeah, but all I'm saying is, for me, even though she was going in all reality, in my head, I'm like, man, that was cool. She knew that.
But it was an epiphany moment because Kim has been with you enough that she knows what you probably didn't bring. Yeah. And she knew on the ride over there that she was about to waste a good hour messing with you by not having it. But I know at the same time it had to make her feel good when you said that. Because we want to feel needed. We need to know that you need us. Yeah. Because if you could do it on your own, what am I here for?
But that's the whole helpmate piece that it sticks in there. And actually, Omar just dropped a little nugget when he looked over and said, sometimes I just need you to be there. Let me just share something with the unmarried ladies. Sometimes, when you are dating that person, sometimes you just need to be there. And when you identify certain pieces to help make that man better, trust and believe that man's paying attention to that. And he's just like, okay, this person actually makes me better. Come on. If you want your relationship to, you want him to turn around and marry you or whatever case it be, make him better.
Make him better.
Make him
Come
better.
on.
Hey, Omar, I'll never forget one spring break. My wife took the boys to Myrtle Beach or somewhere, and I'm thinking they left like on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I was like, what? I am about to turn up while she's not here. I had already planned out. When I get off of work, I'm going to go home. I'm going to take me a shower. I'm going to fix me something to eat. I'm going to find me a party on a Wednesday night, something that I never do. Man, I got home, took that shower, fixed me a sandwich.
Sleep.
Man, Parks and Recreation was on. I was like, all right, I'm going to leave after this episode. And then another episode came on.
I sat there and watched all of them.
Next thing you know, it's 10:45 p.m. I'm asleep getting ready for work the next day.
That's real.
That's how you know
That's real.
you're
Absolutely.
Grown man. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Hey, shout out to the brothers for hanging out with us today. Elam B. King is in the building. It is going down this Sunday, right?
Yes, sir. 4 to 6 p.m. at Sage Woodfire Grill, located right next to Lenox Mall.
Hey, shout out to my man Jimmy Jones. Good to see you again. Also, Kevin, nice meeting you, brother. Good luck on that audition today. We know you got that.
Thank you, bro.
We know you got that. And of course, my man, Mr. Omar Finley. Hey, before we get out of here today, there was a gentleman. He said I usually play 4, 16, 28, 30, and 31. But I accidentally picked 29 instead of 28. Well, rather than starting over a new play slip, guess what he did? He said, you know what? Go ahead and play those numbers right there. And he is so glad he is, because the Michigan man said that I made the best mistake. That's the best mistake I ever made, because when he got home and heard the numbers fall, he won $100,000. So shout out to him for going with his first instinct.
Shout out to mistakes.
Yeah, shout out to
Make
mistakes.
some.
Yeah, I made one yesterday. I'm sorry, Tasha. Hold on, what's that line you made? What's that line
I'm
you
sorry,
said?
Tasha.
I said make some.
No, the one about the wife. I need you.
Sometimes I just need you.
Sometimes I just need you to be there.
Really
That's real.
That's not Tasha ain't even up there, boy.
Nah, she's still
I
up
know.
there. Hey, when we come back, no, we ain't coming back because it's Friday. We'll be back on Monday, but come check us out this Sunday. One more time, Elam B.
Yes,
King.
sir. This Sunday, looking forward to Understanding Man versus Kiera Douglas. We will have Kiera Douglas from Wags of Atlanta in the building, along with a great panel. We have Mr. Jimmy Jones, Mr. Kevin Savage, Mr. Omar Finley, and Mr. King J. Just come on out. You get some of your questions answered. You just get a simple chance of writing down a question and having the panel answer. It's always a lot of fun.
Hey, and don't forget, today is National DJ Month, so kiss your favorite DJ today. Shout out to DJ LV, and I forgot Stormy too.
Hey. And while you're at it, go ahead and leave the office early today, because it is National Leave the Office Early Day.
Right, hold on. The actor want to say one more thing before we get out of here.
I gotta say this. We've heard from married men, and a man who's actually in a relationship. But I'm coming from the perspective.
Come on, single man.
I'm coming from the perspective of a single man, and to let people know that it's okay to date, and it's okay. So Savage Life.
I'm about to say, hey, I was like, for all the single women out there that want to meet Kevin Savage, Sunday from 4 to 6.
It's actually 3 single and 3 married.
There you go. Hey, don't forget, tomorrow Saturday, if you are in the area, anywhere near Monday's Mill, come hang out with Camille McFadden of Disney's Casey Undercover, and Kamario, former NFL player, and even Mama on the Move, as we do our first kickball fundraiser celebration, give back, John. So come hang out with us tomorrow at Monday's Meal, and of course Sunday we're gonna be doing our thing. But if you missed any of today's show, all you got to do is go to the website michaelenjoy.com. or visit the station's website, Power 1089. Hey, it's Friday, and it's the first of the month, boy. I don't spend that little $80 check y'all got, because you missed 2 days of work last week and mad now.
It's my
Crazy, man.
Shout out to y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. For all the information on Sunday's event, go to Michael and Joy or go to the YouTube page. You can search Eventbrite. Go to Eventbrite and search Understanding the Man. All right, guys, from the top of my head to the soles of my feet, I ask that God watch over you, keep you, protect you, expand your territory and your capacity. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Jada benediction. Yo, good job,
Hey, and Jimmy Jones will have the I will not be out work t-shirts.
For sale. For sale.